Who next? Somebody. Anybody.
The numbers say it all. Passion, excitement, undefeated. The Houston Roughnecks are for real. Let's go.
It's time for victory. We making history. We the new big thing. Ain't no mystery.
What's good? A lot to get to, not a lot of time. Welcome to day 2, week 5 of the XFL. This is the XFL Pregame Show. I'm the coach. This is Elise. Let's get to today's matchups.
The two best teams in the East are going in the opposite direction. Can the 3-1 St. Louis Battlehawks extend their 2-game winning streak? Or will the DC Defenders get their first win in 3 weeks? Battlehawks quarterback Jordan Ta'amu is the reigning XFL Star of the Week. That game, 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1. In the late game, the Tampa Bay Vipers and the LA Wildcats look to get on a roll as the playoffs are only a few weeks away. Both teams 1-3. This game, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. But Coach, that's today.
Yeah.
But everyone is still talking about what went down Saturday in Houston as the Roughnecks were trying to improve to 5-0.
You never know how truly good your team is until your back is against the wall. Let's go to Houston as they welcome the Seattle Dragons to town. P.J. Walker, he's been terrific. Cam Phillips, he's been awesome too. His wide receiver both played a huge part in this game yesterday. But at the start of the game, P.J. Walker was not sharp, not by a long shot. How about a fumble? The Dragons at one point would go up 14-0. How about this interception in the second half? Nearly a pick six. And the Dragons would be stopped at the 1, but at this point, everybody in Houston in shock that their Roughnecks, their undefeated Roughnecks, were getting taken to the limit. B.J. Daniels, he got the start. He played the entire game. He played terrific for Seattle, bowling his way into the end zone. 23-14. At this point, Seattle's feeling it. But in the fourth quarter, P.J. Walker always calm. His interviews during the game says, hey, we just got to stay with it. We got to play our game. Throwing bullets. Cam Phillips. That one in the end zone. And then Phillips again. How about 10 catches, 122 yards, and these 2 touchdowns? So Houston, despite trailing by 14 at one point, they come all the way back. They win 32-23. However, they did not cover the 13-point spread, but they are 5-0.
They are still undefeated. Coach, how impressed were you by PJ's ability to pull out that win?
It's one thing to play in the lead. It's one thing to play with the lead. But when you're down 14 and you're throwing interceptions and you're turning the ball over, it's hard to turn that around within one game. He did that, and I think P.J. Walker showed a whole lot to his teammates and his fans about what kind of a leader he truly is. However, that game was not without some controversy at the end as Houston was trying to run the clock out. Now remember, in the XFL, the clock is a little bit different in the final 2 minutes. So P.J. Walker kneels down, and your eyes are not deceiving you, with 2 seconds left in the game. And at that point, the officials ran up the field, the players come onto the field, and the game was ruled over. And that was a mistake because clearly there was 2 seconds left. And in the XFL, you can score 9 points. So the game was very much in the balance.
And the XFL delivered a statement on the controversial ending that read in part, Saturday's Seattle Dragons Houston Roughnecks game should not have ended as it did. With a 9-point differential in the score, Seattle was denied an opportunity to tie the game. The XFL sincerely regrets this error. In addition, Wes Booker, who served as an officiating supervisor for Saturday's game, has been reassigned. Coach, what are your thoughts on how all of this went down and how the game ended?
Well, it's unfortunate that it ended this way, but let's keep in mind the XFL did what they had to do. They came out with a statement, said, we made a mistake, we regret it, but we all have to move on. And that's all we can do at this point is move on after that error was made, period.
Yep. Certainly a lot of emotion coming out of Houston, but there was plenty of great sounds from all around the league. Let's take a look.
Right on, right on.
Let's ball out for each other.
All I'm saying is we can't, if you're going to do that, we got to communicate. That's all.
You went to the right guy. The guy was off the inside on him. You just take it. You threw it a little bit low, but he still should have caught it.
You play in every package. You have to be smart.
What are we doing here? I got another one. The guy, Milky, he started all this. That's what started all this.
Trust the guy next to you. Either got J-Lo or Playboy or Raider. Stack, stack. Ah! Final foul! Final foul!
Just doing what D-linemen do. Came up with a pick.
So them wheels off, huh?
A little bit, did a little something. I had to protect my legs, though. So you couldn't.
As our countdown to kickoff continues, our first matchup of the day, the top two teams in the East. They will face off in D.C. St. Louis Battlehawks. They've won 2 in a row. Jordan Ta'amu, quarterback, he's been terrific in the air, but also on the ground. In fact, last week, Ta'amu ran for almost 100 yards. Flip side, the D.C. defenders have been outscored, get this, 64-9 the last 2 weeks in back-to-back losses.
The success of these two teams is tied directly to the play of their quarterback. The last 2 weeks, Ta'amu has been terrific, and Cardale Jones has thrown 5 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. Coach, which is more likely to happen today? Ta'amu struggles or Cardale plays well?
Well, if those are my two choices, I'm going to say Cardale plays well because I don't think that Ta'amu will play badly. He's played good pretty much every single week. Cardale Jones needs to get back to where he was in the first 2 weeks of this season. So for me, I think Cardale gets back on the positive side of things today.
So today comes down to this. 2 good teams with 2 good quarterbacks, but only one can win. Now, it's that time of the show where we help you, the fans, make some extra money, or at least we try to, because this league, it's all about fans first. So, Coach, let's start with the first game of the day. St. Louis on the road against D.C., and according to Action Network, St. Louis is 3.5-point favorites, and the over-under is 39. What do you like?
Well, this is a you've got to prove something to me game today for D.C. If you've only scored 9 points the last 2 weeks, well, I'm not going to pick the over-under. I'm not going to pick you either. So to me, there's only one pick in this game, and that's St. Louis. And I would buy it down to 3. Throw the extra juice on there. I'll take St. Louis and Jordan Ta'amu giving 3 all day, really against anybody except maybe Houston. And in the late game, LA is giving 1.5, and the over-under is 40.5. Gamblers love that late game pick that you can throw in. And right before you go to bed, maybe you can make a little extra money. Remember, this is a 9 p.m. start on ESPN. And Tampa has had an awful offense the entire year. So I'm picking them today, getting 1.5. I'm not touching the over-under at 40.5, but I'm going to take Tampa on the road in L.A. to beat the Wildcats. So it's all about that second game. And we wanted to hear from you, and social was buzzing. We were listening. This is what you had to say during yesterday's games. This fan says the XFL is the most fun he's had at a sporting event. Hashtag for the love of football. When you start with this mindset as a league, any league, is the fan having a good time? Period. And that's all we want here in the XFL. And this interception by the big man. The big man has some hands. Is there anything better than video of a big fella doing work? I love this. Roughnecks running back James Butler does the Houston hop right into the crowd after a touchdown. And he was asked why he does this, and he looked at the interview and he said, because we do it for them. We're playing for the fans, and I love that mentality, and I love how the players are really embracing the getting interviewed during the game, the fans being a huge part of the game. I love it all. We always want to hear from you, so tweet us during the games using the hashtag XFL Pregame and hashtag for the love of football, and your tweets may end up on our show. Day 2, Coach, let's go. You have your marching orders. Quick reminder, Battlehawks and Defenders, 3 p.m. Eastern live on FS1. And then the late game, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It's the Vipers from Tampa Bay and the Wildcats from L.A. Go watch the games. She's Elise. I'm the coach. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Take care.
ready to